Hey everyone. So that last live stream, it didn't work. So hopefully everybody gets this one. And we're just going to wait for a little bit. I turned it off. I got click happy.
I don't know if any of you have seen the little video with the cat on the computer just going. That was Janice.
I know. I'm sorry. I don't know how to fix it. But I can go on here and fix it this way.
Don't try to fix anything. Somebody's in there now.
No.
Leave it be.
If you're here, say hi. We'd love to hear where you're coming from. We also tried to figure out how we can show pictures and share our screen. Someone says it's really easy. I don't think it's that easy.
You've never done it before.
No.
Learning.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
We will.
Maybe next time we'll try to figure it out longer than 2 minutes before the live. That could work out pretty well.
And did you know once you close off a live, you can't reopen it? Oops. I didn't know about that either. Surprise. Oh, well. Okay, so we're just hanging out for a little bit. This live is basically going to be an update of what we've been up to. And again, I was trying to show pictures, and I don't know if we can show pictures on my phone.
Okay, that's funny.
I was trying to share a screen. If I hadn't been doing some caulking today, maybe I would have figured out how to do this.
Check it out. Look at that picture.
Okay, let me go back to this one.
More space is always a good thing. That's why we are proudly gestation crate free.
The thing that's different about a Virgo vacation home, you always have the whole place to yourself. Just you and your people.
Let me see if I can share this stream. Share. Look, this is what we can do. Close. Look at that. And then we go to Facebook. Say we're live now. Do you know how I can do this?
I do now.
I know. But I want to figure out how to share. I don't know how to. Hey everybody, we're just trying to figure out something. Live now. That one's new. Okay, and what else? Facebook. Uh-oh, that didn't work. I don't want to turn off this live stream.
You're doing too much now.
I know, I'm going to mess with it. Okay, there we go. We did it. Or we can go on Patreon. Into here. Creator. Create. Whoa, that's wild, eh? Whoa, that's wild, eh? Whoa, that's wild, eh?
Oh.
Whoa, that's wild, eh?
Echo.
Whoa, that's wild, eh? Whoa, that's wild, eh? Whoa, that's wild, eh?
That was fun.
Okay.
Hi, Euphoria.
So what we were trying to do. Hey, Rocky and Renee. Look.
I saw that.
Oh, you said hi, Euphoria.
Yeah.
Euphoria, is that your previous boat? That's what we want to know. Is that the name of your previous boat? Because now you're Lady Luna, if I remember correctly. But anyways, so what we were going to do was give an update on what's happening in the summer, or what we did, because we kind of went off the grid for a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
Just a wee bit. And we discovered that there is no Wi-Fi that can upload videos anywhere. Like, anywhere. Nowhere.
Well, at least not where we were, which was kind of like Texada area.
Okay, so let's start. What have we done this summer? First of all, we got some awesome footage. And I was going to share some photos, but I haven't figured out how to actually share a screen in YouTube Live.
We tried. We lost the stream.
That's why I lost the stream. And like Blaine said, I was like a little kitty cat. I was just clicking everything, and he was just like, this isn't going to work well, and it canceled out. So Blaine's parents are from Tennessee.
Well,
Louisiana. Yeah.
live
You
in
tell us.
Tennessee now.
Yeah, they've never been on the boat before.
Nope. We've had the boat for, we just discussed today, coming up on 3 years.
Mhm.
And they had never been on the boat before. It was right at the beginning of COVID, and they had plans coming up to visit, and COVID just kind of wrecked that. So finally, with everything happening, they were able to come up for a visit.
Yes, and they brought their dog, Cooper. So, see, Euphoria?
Yeah.
Anyways, Euphoria was their old name.
Ah.
So they came on board, and it was a 2-week plan, and I took the time and I really planned out our trip because we really wanted to show them our favorite anchorage, probably in the world. Like Blaine and I have done a lot of sea miles. This is one of the top anchorages we've ever been in the world. Like, it was stunning. There's a couple others. Like, there was one anchorage up to Geographic Harbor, up near Kodiak, which was amazing. But Princess Louisa
is pretty stellar.
So that was our centerpiece of this trip, was to get up to Princess Louisa. And as you can tell, diesel prices are a little bit stupid right now. So we planned 2 weeks with Princess Louisa being there for 3 days. So we headed out. The first thing we did is the night before we left, as I threw the prawn trap out. And it was so cool. Surprise.
We try to do this every time we go out. If it's prawning season, Janice will go out the night before, drop the trap out by the island, and on our way out, we just pull up in Tangaroa, pull the trap up to the aft deck, and lift it right up on board. Usually we're pretty lucky. We've gotten lucky in the past, so this time was no exception. We got a lot of prawn, so we had a bit of a prepare for a prawn feast.
We definitely hit our limit of 125.
Yeah.
So we started the trip with an awesome prawn feast. And again, before we left, we had the trip all scheduled out. Like, what I do is I go right through the calendar, and I'll put this in a future video. I write it all on a calendar, the days approximately where we're going to be. I also write the meals so I can do the provision list. I think this is really important because when you're out for a couple of weeks, you're not getting provisions very many places, especially when we like to go not where there's a lot of boats, right? So, which means no stores around.
No, got to go out a little farther for that.
Yes, except the first night we went to Chemainus,
which was lovely.
We were actually pleasantly surprised because people said Chemainus anchorage was horrible. And so we went to Chemainus. There was no room at the dock. I did call just in case, but there was a dinner theater. A dinner theater.
That's what it was.
Right. So the dock was full up. So we anchored just to the north of main town of Chemainus off a park. It was a little bit rolly, but it was a perfect place.
A little bit.
In Chemainus wasn't that bad.
For the most part, it was great. In the middle of the night, I don't know what happened.
Oh, yeah.
But it went crazy. Must have been some sort of big boat went by, and we were rocking like mad for a long time.
Yes, there's no protection there at all. So we took the dinghy in and we walked around Chemainus. Now on board, we had Mike and Monica, which are Blaine's parents. And we had Izzy and Izzy's best friend, Abby. And now you've probably seen Abby in past videos. She's usually the other girl that kind of looks like Izzy that's on board. And basically we bring Abby on board to entertain Izzy. They kind of keep each other out of our hair.
Yeah.
But they absolutely love. And we had Abby for her 16th birthday. So we had to make that special too.
Yeah.
But Chemainus was our first. And Chemainus is really cool. And I can't wait to do the video about it because it is the town it was a mill town and it was dying and it rebuilt itself with murals. So it got famous artists from all over to come by and paint murals on all the buildings. So we cruised around Chemainus, walked around.
You already said that we showed up there in the Blues Festival or the...
No.
Yeah. Yeah, we were walking around and had the dog with us, my parents, and buzzed up through the park there, what was the park? The water wheel park or the something like that. And,
Auto wheel park. Water wheel.
Anyway, there was like a little what's the amphitheater there?
Yep. And
they had a folk festival going on, and they were playing live music, and the park was full of people sitting down watching the music. It was a pleasant surprise.
It was very cool.
It was the town was bustling.
Yes. So the next day we left Chemainus and we headed to Newcastle Island, which is just off of Nanaimo, if anybody's been there.
Brief stop at the fuel dock. We had to
we need fuel.
Take on a little bit of diesel for the trip up to Princess Louisa.
So what we noticed with Tangaroa is when we're empty of fuel, we ride very high in the water and we roll a lot. Once we get rolling, it's like it doesn't stop. She's just like waka waka waka.
Yeah. All the fuel is in keel tanks on the boat, so everything's low. And with 3,000 gallons in, that's a lot of weight down low that keeps the boat pretty stable. Running light on fuel really, it rocks a lot.
But as you can see, diesel prices have been crazy insane. Like, so what we said is, you know what, let's just put enough in to bring us down in the water a little bit. So we put $2,000 worth in, which was
not all that much.
I don't even know how much that was. 400 gallons?
I can't remember.
I'm horrible at figuring out that.
It was not as much as I'd like.
No.
But
you know what else we filled up? What else we fill up?
The aft water tank. There's one built into the aft deck back there.
We've never filled it before.
We knew it was there, but we're not drinking water out of it. But we just figured we'd fill it up just to fill it up.
And we actually
make sure it was all good.
We watched the transom of the boat. It went down
Probably,
4 inches.
Yeah, including the fuel as well, because we put all the fuel in the aft tank as well.
So now we're riding high. We're like.
So it's got to be 600 or 700 gallons back there. Like it's a really big water tank at the back of the boat.
Yeah. So Newcastle Island was packed. Like we've never been there. Insanely packed with boats, and they have a border there with marine buoys, and you have to anchor within the border because there's also seaplanes coming in, lots of traffic and shipping lanes. Well, let's just say we put our anchor inside the border. But the boat kind of hung outside a little bit, and there was still a layer of 2 boats out of us, like from us. So everybody kept asking us, is it okay to anchor? We're like, we're on the bow with the fire pit going, having a beverage, and I'm like, I don't know.
Don't follow us. We're lost.
We had no clue. We've never been here before. But great anchorage. My Uncle Chuck advised me to chuck the
crab trap.
To get the Uncle Chuck advised me to chuck. Anyways, throw the crab trap over, and we caught some crab. 2 big Dungeness males. So we had a little crab feast there. And then we went cruising. So we always try to pick parks, or when I do my plan is I'm looking for a park that has a dock, first of all, because we're not very good at bringing our tender up to a beach. Well, we can do it, but it's just hard on the tender, and it's a heavy tender. And Mike and Monica, they're in their 70s, and it's better to be at a dock to get them out of the tender. Say that? Yeah. And back in the tender. So docks were much more beneficial for us.
Yeah. And the dogs, it's just easier all around.
Yeah. If you're joining, just say hi. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah. So that was a great island.
But we went walking around.
Nice hiking trails.
Yeah. We went looking for something. What was that?
We were looking for a mine shaft.
Yeah, we couldn't find the mine shaft. Anybody find the mine shaft? Anybody's been to Newcastle? We're going to go back.
We're going to
find this mine shaft.
We ran out of time this time around, but we'll find it next time. Mm-hmm. We found what we thought was the mine shaft.
Wasn't the mine shaft.
Until we looked it up, and it wasn't the mine shaft.
But we were there for Abby's 16th birthday, first sweet 16. So we went to the floating pub for her celebration, which was right there. But before we went to the pub, we did a game called Kill the Sloth. And now you guys might go, what the heck is Kill the Sloth? Well, we bought a sloth piñata. And we filled
Was that all that was available?
It was a sloth. It was so cool. All I kept thinking is like, we're going to hit the sloth.
That's evil.
Anyways, it was Kill the Sloth. The 16-year-old and 15-year-old thought it was absolutely hilarious. We put candy in it. And, oh, hey, from Mudge. Hey, Tony. Good to see you. You're back on Mudge Island. Woo! But anyways, we were hitting, I wasn't. Izzy and Abby were hitting the sloth, and candy was flying. And luckily it wasn't in wrappers because some flew overboard, but it was hilarious. Kill the Sloth. Mm-hmm. So from Newcastle Island, which I can't wait. We got such amazing footage for you guys. I can't wait to get all this stuff edited because we did some really crazy stuff, and there's some injuries and everything that we'll chat about. But it was it's been a good trip so far.
We try to go to new places whenever we can. So we definitely hit some new places for us this time around. So it was entertaining.
New places with some history and some stories, and So from Newcastle, we headed straight to Tribune Bay and got our butt kicked.
But we took the Newcastle Channel in between.
We did. We took the Newcastle Channel and still got our butt kicked in Hornby, Tribune Bay. We should have left.
It was okay when we got there, and then the wind switched from the north or the south, and it was just terrible. Rolly.
Oh, it was absolutely horrible.
Didn't have any issues with anchor or anything like that.
No.
We stayed there for the night because we just figured it was that late in the day. We didn't really want to pick up and go anywhere, so we just lived with it.
We lived with it.
But
It sucked.
it was a grumpy night.
Very grumpy
Everybody
night.
was,
And it's
not
really
happy.
funny when boats are rolling. Anybody who's on a boat there, everybody on board gets grumpy, and everybody gets like "Nying, nying, 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 nying," at each other, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So when we got out of there, it was awesome, and we left, and we were going to cross the channel, which was perfect, and we bumped into a whole pod of humpbacks.
Yep. And the great thing is, it was flat calm. The next
Yes.
day, it was completely flat out there.
And we tried to fly our drone.
We kept the drone, but that didn't go super well.
So we flew the drone. Blaine put it up in the air. I couldn't see him because I was driving, and the drone. I don't know what happened.
I'm not sure what happened with it, but we took off with it. Everything was going great. We were flying along with the boat, and the drone just stopped.
And I hear yelling, "Stop the boat! Stop the boat!"
It wouldn't get any closer to the boat. It literally just stopped. I could move it side to side, but it was like somebody had drawn a perimeter that it couldn't go through.
And when I finally went back to see what was happening, all I saw was a speck. It was like way out there, and I'm like, "Oh crap!"
Because we were motoring and we wanted to get some good footage
We're
of the
doing
boat
9 knots.
motoring. It was the first time we had ever tried it.
Yeah.
And it was way back. So
we
I
have
jumped in the tender with the remote.
and
Janice
me.
drove. Yeah, and we ripped back in the tender so we could get the drone before it ran out of battery
But we have
power.
very good drone footage of Tangaroa leaving.
Yeah.
So you guys will see that. It's hilarious. But we got whales, humpbacks, and then we
didn't get that on the
headed.
drone, but we got lots
No.
of footage.
Well, we won't fly drone over whales. I don't think that's copacetic. It's not cool.
Well, not even over them. Like we didn't get any drone footage from way away from them either.
That's true.
Got
But we
nothing.
found turn off the shields, Mr. Spock.
The drone.
I get it.
Yeah. So it was pretty neat with the whales. We just powered the engines back and just sat there. Actually, we turned them off.
We turned them off.
Yeah,
and we
we-
drifted in the straight. That's how flat it was.
Yeah, we just shut down the engines
Yeah.
and we all sat on the foredeck and just watched
just
the
went,
whales.
It was amazing. They weren't even that close. It was just amazing.
Yeah.
But we found the coolest little anchorage, and it was one of those places where I don't know where I'd read about it, but we were going up Agamemnon. I
You have
never.
a hard time with this
That's a
one.
horrible term.
Agamemnon.
That channel, and we went to Nelson Island, which is a very unknown little island in the Gulf, but it's big. We
Yeah,
went
not
to
a lot of people go
Green
there.
Bay.
Yeah.
And this is where we had our first big oops.
It was kind of odd when we pulled in. It was because there was nobody there. And it's when you get into anchorages up here that you don't have anybody there, you wonder why nobody's there.
And we went in, and you go in around the corner.
Yeah.
So the
And you
first
can tuck
oops-
right in.
Yeah, first oops is Sternline. So
There's really only one oops.
I know. Oh, I fell a bunch of times.
Wow.
This is my first fall.
Oh, you mean
this
the
is the first fall of the trip
First
for me.
oops for the trip. I thought you meant that day.
No, for the trip.
Okay.
So Sternline shore. This was my mistake all the way. Sometimes I forget how heavy and how much power Tangaroa has and how much Blaine likes to pull up on the anchor and lines and stuff. So this is my fault. I'm not your fault at all. I took the stern line to shore. I wrapped it around what I considered a huge boulder. Like huge, because I don't really like wrapping around trees because they're alive. I don't like doing it. So there's
Oh, we got somebody.
a personal watercraft coming past.
Be right back.
Be right back.
Carry
We
that
have a
soda.
visitor. Weird that. So, anyways, I wrapped it around a big rock, and we pulled it tight. Okay. But as we pulled it tight, the rock started rolling off the beach. It got pulled out and actually hit me in the leg, and I seriously thought I'd broken my leg. Okay. So it hit me in the leg. I jumped out of the way. There was a lot of blood and scrape down the leg, which kind of sucked. But I was like, oh shite. So we grabbed the stern line. I finally got it. Actually couldn't get it off the boulder because I actually the boulder was now on top of my stern line. And we got this all on video. So what I had to do is I wasn't strong enough to push the boulder. So you can see me, I actually had to get my back and use my legs and push the boulder, get it rolling down into the water, get the stern line back. And then I found a really big dead tree.
There might have been some yelling.
Yeah, it was not a pretty moment. But the leg survived. It wasn't broken because that's always a scare, is breaking a limb. But we didn't.
Yeah,
So-
that would have put a damper on the
I
trip.
would have put damper. But you know what was really cool in Green Bay, and anybody who's around, you guys need to go to Green Bay, is there is this little ripple of water coming out right next to our boat. We could hear it, right? We're like, it's got to be a waterfall. So we went in and we climbed through, and it was like an Avatar Grove. We climbed through the bushes and everything, and there was this stunning waterfall, and you could actually swim into it.
Yeah, and a little pool at the bottom, but it was completely covered with trees, like low-hanging trees.
You couldn't see it from the water.
You couldn't see it at all. You had to crawl under it almost, and it opened up pretty neat.
And I may have fell going into the waterfall too.
This is not unheard of.
I blew a flip-flop. Steps on the pop top. Yeah. So that was really cool. Green Bay. And then from Green Bay, the next morning, it was glass calm going up the channel right to Malibu Rapids. Through Malibu Rapids, which some arsehole tried to pass us in. Don't pass a 78-foot boat going through Malibu Rapids. Like,
there may be room, but it's stressful.
We had no thrusters or anything. We were getting tossed around a little bit, and this arsehole, because I'm not going to swear, seriously tried to pass us coming out of Malibu Rapids.
And not even like the wide part, like the narrowest part of it he tried to pass. Or not tried.
Janice did some swearing at him, and some maybe gestures came up. Not rude gestures, just like, what the? Anyways. I didn't give him the finger. Yeah. But anyways, I was in the dinghy. It was really cool. Malibu Rapids, you have to time because it is quite a current that can go through.
It can really, I think they get six knots or maybe even more on a big king tide. And
then we opened up into Princess Louisa. And seriously, if no one's been to Princess Louisa, like, I highly recommend it. Or please watch the video when we put it out. It was, I don't even know how to describe it. It's just.
It's funny because I had.
Wow.
When my parents were coming in, I had worked them up on it. I'm like, this is the most amazing place. Like, it's going to blow your mind.
And they've sailed around the world themselves.
And I'm worried because I'm telling them how amazing it is that we're going to get there, and they're going to be like, oh, this isn't as amazing as you made it out to be. And even after all of that, they were blown away when we got in there. It's just stunning. If you haven't been, you have to go. So
we spent 3 days up there. We hiked up to the Trapper's Cabin, which Blaine and I aren't, like, I'm 50. He's younger than me. Let's just say that. Less than 50. He's only 5 years younger than me. But the Trapper's Cabin was a hike and a half.
It was a good hike.
And it was 2 hours straight up, like hands and climbing. Wow. It was like straight up. And then it opened up to this stunning waterfall. And then coming down, my toenails, I won't show it to you, but they're all bruised from actually jamming into my front of my shoes coming down. But
it's a great hike though. It's a lot of fun. It's not something you have to do every time you go up there, but it's a fun hike.
And we met 4 girls on the way up. They were so cool.
Yeah, that was. I'll let Janice describe it because she knows more about the history behind it.
Yeah, so the 4 girls, they were in their early 20s, and they were cruising around on a 25, 28-foot tugboat, and they were following the curve of time. And I don't know if you've read the book. It's amazing. It's about a single mom who took her kids and traveled all through this area and up through the islands. And her nickname was Cappy. And these 4 girls were following in her footsteps, and they were creating a documentary. So when we get a copy of the documentary, we'll definitely put it up on our website and link it and everything like that, because I can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I think their Instagram was Cappy Movie was their Instagram.
Yeah, I can't remember, but I'll put it up.
Cappy Movie.
Yeah, but they're very cool girls. Yeah. And we have to say is we get a lot of attention on this boat when we put our fire pit on. Yeah. And we do that quite often at night times as we do the fire pit, and people think we're absolutely crazy, or we scare the heck out of people.
And maybe we are. I don't know. It doesn't seem overly scary to us.
No.
It's a propane fire pit. We love it. We have guests over. We put it up on the front. And people just love it because it's warmth. It's a fire on the deck. It's propane. It's safe. It's not hot on the bottom.
Yep.
But other people see it in the bay, and they at first may have a little heart attack, whatever. But then they come by and say hello.
They come by and ask us if we're on fire.
Yeah.
So if we're crazy.
When we were in Princess Louisa, big power yacht showed up, 150.
Called Almost There.
Almost There, yeah. So they showed up. Nice boat. Well, these girls on this small tug that worked for the Cappy movie, they got invited on board this big yacht. And I guess the night that they were on board that yacht, the owners of the yacht saw us sitting on our bow with our fire pit going, and we had the parents and everybody. They were, we were having a great time on board, and the owners of the boat looked over and looked at the captain or the crew on the boat and said, "They have a fire pit. Why don't we have a fire pit?"
I'm like, Costco.
Yeah. So it was the girls came over to our boat the next night and they were telling us this story, which was pretty funny.
It was kind of funny. Hi, Heather. Welcome.
But I think,
Good to see you.
Hi, Heather. I think almost every anchorage we went to, somebody would come by and chat with us about the fire pit.
Yeah.
It was amusing.
But from Princess Louisa, we were up there for 3 nights. It was absolutely amazing. We had just a fabulous time. And then we headed, again, the footage. I can't wait to edit the footage because we've got some great stuff. And from there, we headed to Pender Harbor, which we've never been to. And we weren't going to because we heard it was busy, but it was fun.
Yeah. Which one was that one?
That's where we went to the pub. Blaine and I were looking for a place to upload a video.
Oh,
So
right.
we went to shore to look for a coffee shop. All the coffee shops are closed. COVID's really done a number on these small communities. They can't find staff and nothing's really open, right? Or the stores, like the grocery store at Pender Harbor, closed at 5 o'clock. Like
the main big grocery store.
They're
like
really
IGA
hurting
or
these
whatever
small
it is,
communities.
or-
So we were looking for Wi-Fi. So a person suggested that we go to the pub and they gave us a ride up the hill to the pub. Pub had a great view, except Blaine parked the boat, the big boat, behind a tree. So from our table at the pub,
we could see every other boat.
But we could
But
only
not
see the
ours.
bow and stern of our boat because
That would have been
you
a nice
parked it
picture.
wrong.
Yeah. But Pender Harbor was, I mean, it was busy. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when we were pulling into Pender, and we went right back into the back of Pender, we were in a line of, I think, 5 boats going through, and it's kind of one of those areas where you're not really passing people.
Yep.
But three or four big boats coming in at the same time. And even though it was busy, there was lots of room. It's like this bay of bays, I would call it. You go in and they're everywhere. And even you can anchor right in the middle of the main bay. It's shallow enough.
And so many marinas.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
And
just
kayaks and
stuff-
fishing boats.
Stuff happening all day long. So many things. There's a small regatta going on.
Oh
when we
yeah.
were there.
As soon as we came in, the sailboats were
Yeah.
going everywhere.
So it was a neat place. I'm glad we got to check it out.
Yeah, and then we were going to go to Gibson's. So, but the weather was turning on us. And unfortunately, when you're on a boat, sailboat, powerboat, whatever, you kind of are guided by the weather. So the weather was turning on us. If we had gone to Gibson's, we were going to get our butt kit going back across the strait to Vancouver Island. So we decided we'll catch the beachcombers another time, which didn't really matter because really I think I'm the only one on board the boat who knew the beachcombers because these guys are all American. They didn't get the beachcombers, which
No.
I'm sorry. It was an amazing show growing up.
I haven't lived, have I?
I kind of came out here because of the beachcombers. I really wanted to meet Relic and see these logs and just, yeah. You haven't lived until you've watched the beachcombers.
Apparently not.
No. So we had to miss Gibson's and we headed straight across
And
to.
it's a good thing we did because it was
Oh, yeah.
rough and it was windy. Fortunately, it was on our stern, so it was a little off to one side. But we had a bit of rolling going on the way down from there. But it was, if we had gone south down the coast and tried to hit it more perpendicular, it would have been miserable.
It was yucky.
Yeah, it was pretty decent sized waves rolling through there.
Yep. But we popped into Thetis Island, into Clam Bay. Beautiful, I have to say.
Really good holding.
Yeah, really good.
Hooked well.
Wasn't too impressed with the Thetis Yacht Club. I hate to say it.
No.
I didn't feel welcome, which is really unfortunate.
Yeah, they could have done better.
Yeah. I think the $16 milkshakes put me off first. And then the fact that they said that we couldn't dock our dinghy to have milkshakes at their yacht club. Or at their...
It wasn't a yacht club.
It wasn't a yacht club.
It's a resort or whatever.
Not even
is.
that. It's a marina.
It's a marina.
So I was a little bit turned off. I don't know.
Yeah, and there was plenty of room on the dock. So that was just really, you got the definite, if you're not bringing your boat into our dock, the big boat, you're not welcome kind of vibe.
Yeah. And I remember going to the ice cream shop there, which are okay. It's okay, ice cream. I go, can I have 2 milkshakes and 2 single scoop ice cream cones? And I didn't look at the prices, right? Everybody's like a milkshake, right? And the guy goes, it's $48. I went, pardon? I'm like, holy crap. Better have Bailey's in that milkshake. There's no Bailey's in the
Did not
milkshake.
have Bailey's in the milkshake.
But Clam Bay was beautiful.
Yeah, we enjoyed that, and it was a neat little pass through the islands there. But
yeah, and then we headed straight to
where do we go from there? Is that back?
Ganges. We decided we need to go to dock.
Right. Yeah.
Remember, we've had the in-laws on board for 2 weeks. I love them, by the way, if you're watching. But we went to Ganges and decided to go to dock so everybody could have the freedom to go wander.
Yeah, and it was nice to be on the dock for a night. And
we did not fit in.
no.
There was a lot of big super yachts on the dock.
Jenna says it best. Right? We bring a little bit of redneck to wherever we go.
But like people came down and said, your boat's the most interesting one on the dock.
Yeah, had a lot of people coming by to check it out.
Yeah, we still have no railings, by the way, people. So that's kind of a so. And then from there it's back home. Oh, excuse me, I'm burping up. I know, I'm sorry. How rude. But from there it was back home because Mike and Monica had to leave the next day and drive back to Tennessee.
Yeah.
So we had to get back, and we were switching over guests. So I'm excited. We're going to talk about the San Juans, but we'll do that another time because it's already 6:30. But I'm excited because we got so much awesome footage, and I think what we're going to do is put out a video per place that we've been to and do a little bit of show and tell of the places and what we saw and just the stories and, you know, the goofiness and stuff like that. But I'm excited because we have lots of great footage. And then, what was I going to say?
I don't know. But one thing that I'd like to say is that this is the first time that we've really been out in the boat where, especially in the amount of time that we spent out, and we did not have any problems. We finally got to the point. Oh, well, the trip's over. We're not going to have any more problems on the trip.
True. We only had one problem. We had to fix something.
That was a shower sump.
Oh, the shower
the
sump.
float switch on a shower sump.
No, the toilet.
Nothing...
The head.
Oh, right, the little water valve.
Yeah.
Anyway, a couple of little small issues, but mechanically wise, the boat ran great. All the systems functioned perfectly.
The fridge did not fall over.
The fridge did not fall
and
over.
we did not add
That's
another dent in our door.
No,
Usually when Abby's on board, something happens and the fridge falls over, but Blaine actually secured it this time. So the fridge did not fall over, and we did not have bocconcini rolling across the galley floor.
No, it's a lot easier to clean up.
Yeah. So again, guys, thank you so much for your support. Again, the footage, Heather, yeah, I'm so excited to actually put it together. We would love any feedback. I know Euphoria is giving us some great feedback about our editing because it helps me. I do the editing, and this is all a huge learning process for us. So getting you guys to give feedback and stuff, I absolutely love it. And I take it all into consideration. And trust me, I don't get offended by anything. If you think our video's crap, tell me. Okay, because I'm going to change it. We make videos for you. We make videos for entertainment. We also make videos as a creative outlet for, well, Blaine and I for videoing, but myself for editing. So
that's a great way to document the refit.
It is. I look much bigger than you in this video because I'm sitting forward. No.
Anyway, it was.
But if you want to join our crew also, check out patreon.com. We do have a Patreon site and we give out swag and stuff like that. When we get 10 Patreons, we're going to do a contest. And for every time you get 10 Patreons, we do a draw for something local. So I think you can join for as little as $5. And again, we have Patreon swag, which is like this. And we have koozies, which are kind of cool. And then once we start doing YouTube lives, there's a new thing too, where you can do you can support your favorite creators, which is, you see that little money thing on the bottom of the chat, so you can show support. So if you like what we do, we would love you to help us out. And all the money goes to our refit. I know it's so weird asking for money, but it takes time to create the videos. So it's kind of like a job for me, but the money helps with the refit. All the money goes right back into Tangaroa. And you're a part of the crew just for subscribing and watching our videos. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So, and then we also have a new thing called Buy Me a Beer. You can see it on our website. So go to onboardtangaroa.com. If you guys have any comments, again, Euphoria, Tony, Heather, it was awesome. Thank you so much for commenting. Guys, I know viewers have been popping in and out. We really appreciate you. And know that we've been starting to do YouTube Shorts. I've been learning YouTube Shorts. So you can see a playlist on our YouTube channel where we're starting to put in shorts, which are kind of little wee 20 or 30-second to 60-second highlights. I think YouTube's making a run for TikTok is what I think is happening. And YouTube's really pushing out shorts. And they're kind of fun to do. So I try to put out shorts every day that I'm not putting out a video. And the videos are starting to come out on Saturdays right now. So Saturday mornings, the videos are coming out. Usually about 8 o'clock, 8:30 our time, PST time, Vancouver time. I say PST and I get confused by that. So I'll say Vancouver time. So videos are coming out Saturday morning. They're going public early in the morning. Sundays, if you're part of the Video VIP Club, you can join for free at onboardtangaroa.com. You get the emailed or the videos emailed to you where you can watch ad-free, which I always appreciated for the creators that I follow, getting the video so I can watch it a week ahead of time and ad-free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So again, guys, love you. Thank you so much for following. Again, that's where we've been. We'll talk about the San Juans another time. We appreciate every one of you. And what do you think? Are we out?
I think that's it.
I think we're going to go find dinner.
It's about that time.
It's about that time. My stomach's growling, and this one straight and narrow that I've had because I haven't eaten very much today is... So guys, huge hugs. If you see us out and about, I know Rocky and Renee, we've met in person. Please come and say hi. We would love to have you on board. As you can see in our latest YouTube video, we actually had Gunner come on board from Duck and A, which is a cool name for a boat.
That was pretty cool.
It was pretty cool.
Well done.
So anyways, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
We are out.
See ya.
See ya.